Hello, beautiful people. Hope everybody's had a great week. Sorry for the delay on the video this week. I had some audio difficulties on Sunday night, so it's taking me a couple days to get back, sit down, and shoot another video for you. So I appreciate your patience. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and you guys are the best. So really appreciate the feedback. Let's get down to business. I'm going to try to make this video a little shorter than I made it on Sunday. Of course, I don't remember all the content because after I shot the video, I went back to edit it and there was no audio. So, so instead of trying to reshoot that whole thing, I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet for you. Something I want to talk about this week is small businesses. It's just a perspective that I have because it's just a life that I live. So I look at a lot of the world through a lens of a small business person. And something happened this week. I'm sure some of you or most of you or maybe none of you saw. I guess Whoopi Goldberg made some stink about a small business in, I want to say Staten Island, like a bakery, didn't make her cupcakes or something. And she went on TV and made a stink about it, and how this small business refused to make her cupcakes. And she speculated, and I think it was because, she didn't think it was because she was a woman that they refused. She thinks it was because of her politics is why they refused to make her these cupcakes. Anyway, long story longer. Being a small business is essentially overcoming every possible obstacle, and that includes every single day people are trying to put you out of business. Every single day, people are trying to cut your head off. They're just trying to get the better of you. They're trying to put you out of business, whether it's direct competition in your industry, whether it's technology, whether it's advancements, whether it's, the IRS, federal government, state and local governments, taxes, banks, mortgages, interest, customers trying to get the better of you. It's a nonstop every single day survival. You're in survival mode every single day as a small business owner. And nobody gives you any breaks. Nobody's here to give you any. That's not what they're here to do. It's a value exchange. You have to give them more than they receive. That's pretty much how it works. So being in business for a while, you learn a lot. You learn that, again, people are just trying to put you out of business. And early on, you take it personal. And as you become more of a small business owner, more than just an entrepreneur, you realize that if you miss a single bill, any one single thing is enough to put you out of business. If you don't pay the bank, you're out of business. You don't pay the light bill, you're out of business. You don't pay your employees, you're out of business. You don't advertise, you're out of business. There's any one single misstep and you're closed. You don't exist. You're gone. And like I said, there's people that are trying to I want to say put you out of business, but they're trying to get enough of a piece of you that if you aren't able to give them that piece, it will put you out of business. So the IRS wants a big enough of a chunk to put a dent in whatever money you could have made. Payroll taxes, sales tax, like they'll just audit you. They'll just say, hey, we just want to see that you're paying us right. And they'll calculate a completely different number than you calculated with. And if you don't have enough resources and proof that you did it right, you just owe them what they say you owe them. If you don't file on time, you owe them whatever they say you owe them. Like it's a constant battle to be in business. It is the fight of your life every single day, all day, to stay in business. And especially if you want to do anything significant, if you want to do anything well, if you want to do anything outside of, and again, there's a lot of, I think they say that half the businesses in the United States are like solopreneur jobs or solopreneur businesses where, let's say, someone's an accountant, a CPA, and they just work for themselves. They do bookkeeping, they do CPA work, and they work for themselves. No employees, no staff, work from home, something like that. Solopreneur type job. So once you get to a threshold of having to have, brick and mortar, employees, payroll tax, sales tax, all these other entities, it's slightly different than being a at-home bookkeeper. So yes, you're self-employed, slightly different tactic. Does it make it easier? It's just different. I'm not saying being an at-home bookkeeper is not difficult. Like job I could not do, no way in hell could I do that job. Very difficult, very hard. And that's another type of commodity type job where people are constantly going to be shopping around to try to find the cheapest rate. And if you're not the cheapest one, it's hard to get business. So not saying at-home bookkeepers is not self-employed. I'm just trying to describe the difference between a small business with employees and brick and mortar versus a solopreneur entrepreneur. Okay. So people are constantly trying to put you out of business, and you'll run into customers that would just as soon see you drop dead than see you make $1 off of them. That's just a fact. That's just a reality. And they'll fight you every step of the way. And it's just part of it. You know, it's 1 in 100 customers, but that's 1 in 100. You gotta work with that person just like you work with the other 99. Everybody's got different needs, and some people would rather see you bleed than see you get a nickel off of them. Just part of it. Okay. So if you are not familiar with what happened with this Whoopi Goldberg thing, I'm just paraphrasing, summarizing, whatever the case is. I don't know the exact story. I wasn't there. I don't know who said it. So I'm not about trying to spread gossip or he said, she said. But essentially what happened is apparently Whoopi Goldberg called this bakery that she's, I guess her mother had frequented, and she has frequented for most of her career, to order a very specific cupcake that only this bakery makes. And it reminded her of her mother because her mother used to buy them. And I think this cupcake purchase was related to, I don't know if it was for her mother's birthday or in her mother's memory, but it was for that purpose, okay? When Whoopi Goldberg called this bakery, they said they were having issues with their boiler. They could not fill the order, could not promise they were going to be able to fill the order. Whoopi took exception to that. And again, I don't know the timeline exactly, but someone else called on Whoopi's behalf. I don't know if it was a staff member, friend, family, whatever the case is. And I don't know if it was the same day, next week, following week. I have no idea the timeline. Called back and placed the same order, and the bakery accepted the order and said they were going to make it happen, make it work. So the day that Whoopi got these cupcakes, she goes on her TV show on air and proceeds to tell the story about how this bakery that refused to make her these cupcakes. Again, not because she's a woman, not because she's black, but because of her political viewpoint, her political stance. They refused to make her. She's like, she's only assuming because she doesn't know. Of course she doesn't know because she's making this up. She doesn't know why because they told her, and she even says in her story, oh, they said the broiler was not working. So they told her why they couldn't make them. She twisted that because she's a victim. She twisted that and turned that into, oh, they don't like my politics. So they refused to make the order. Okay. And then she proceeds to go on to, oh, well, but you know what? I don't want to make a big deal about it. These cupcakes are to celebrate my mother. So let's dig in and let's enjoy. And everybody gives a big round of applause in the audience, like a bunch of simple 2 brain cell circus seals out there just clapping and applauding this goof. Okay. So first of all, Whoopi Goldberg's been like wealthy and famous for like 40 years. Okay. Her takes on most things in the world are so detached from reality. It's very bizarre to me that everyday people listen to what she has to say. She's so far detached from what's going on in the real world. I mean, think of it this way. This is probably the first time anybody's told her no in like years. Somebody just told her no. And look at how she reacted. She's trying to put these people out of business. She's trying to put these people out of business because they didn't make her a cupcake order. And they even told her why. And she just, I just don't believe them. I just don't believe them. I think it's because of my politics. I think that's why. So because I think that, I'm going to try to put these people out of business. Like, can you imagine being such a victim and so petty as a human being to use your platform, which again, I don't know why it's a platform. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just looks like a bunch of angry, pissed off, lonely women that are just trying to take a piss and shit on everything they possibly can, okay? But that's just my opinion. It's just my personal opinion. Whatever, okay? So I don't know why people even listen to this garbage, but she's going to use this platform to try to take a hot steaming dump on a small business that turns out has proof that this broiler wasn't working, has been in business for like 130 years, okay? Do you have any idea what it takes to be in business for 130 years, especially a small business? Like, this isn't just some big machine that's got hundreds of or thousands of employees that you just plug in a simpleton to do a menial task. This requires like skill, like baking skills, early mornings, holidays, weekends, nights. I mean, like bakery, I would imagine like 2 or 3 o'clock in the mornings, just my guess. Okay. But can you imagine owning a small business, staying in your family for 130 years? So Whoopi Goldberg, the victim is trying to garner sympathy and pity from her viewers. Like, poor me, poor Whoopi Goldberg. Does everybody feel sorry for me? Does everybody feel bad for me that this bakery didn't make my cupcakes? Does everybody see how unfair the world has treated me? Can you guys not relate to this? Excuse me, I probably need to get up and get something to drink, but why would somebody that's been famous for 40 years and been wealthy by most of the world's standards for 40 years use her platform to be a petty victim and try to crush a small business that has put in between all the employees there? I mean, there's got to be several employees, but plus the owners. Like, I have no idea what it takes to run a bakery. I imagine it's really hard. I imagine it's hot. You got to be on your feet. You got to know a lot. You're counting on a lot of vendors. You're counting on a lot of customers. There's a lot of moving pieces to running a bakery, I have to imagine. And I had to imagine it's not easy. It can't be easy. It can't be. And then to do it for 130 years, and then to have somebody just go out to the street and just start trying to take a hot steaming dump on you because you didn't make them cupcakes. And again, this is Whoopi Goldberg claims to be, and this is another reason, and again, I'm probably getting off topic, but this is another reason why I don't trust what people say, particularly when it comes to like politics. Because there's so many hypocrites when it comes to people's viewpoints versus their actions. When it comes to their viewpoints on immigration versus their actions. When it comes to their viewpoints about women's rights and their actions. When it comes to their viewpoints about any particular topic, they sing from the rooftops about what a righteous individual they are. And how if they were in charge, or if their political party or their group of people were in charge, how much better and more beautiful the world would be, right? But when it comes down to it, hey, we don't have any more room for, let's say, immigrants in Texas, but how about you move some immigrants into your house? Oh, my house? Oh, no, not my house. You can't have immigrants in my house. Well, hold on. I thought that's what you believed. Like, you say it, but you won't do it. So it's okay if immigrants come in the country as long as they're way over there, away from Martha's Vineyard. As long as they're not in Martha's Vineyard and they're somewhere over there and somebody else is taking care of it, then you agree with it. Same with like reparations. Hey, we're taking a collection for reparations. So if you believe in, I believe in reparations. Okay, well, here, give me $20. Oh, well, I don't have $20. Like, well, hold on a second. So where's the reparations going to come from? Like, you walk it, but you talk it, but you won't walk it. Like, that's what drives me crazy. So when I hear people like Whoopi Goldberg sit on television every single day, and I don't watch the show, I don't own a television, you just know, okay? When you know, you know. Sit on television every day and act righteous, and we're the adults, we're the empathetic people, we're the sympathetic people, we're the good people, we're the forgiving people, we're the understanding people. Like, they preach this stuff all day long. And then when it comes down to it, the first time somebody tells you no in who knows how long, like, how often do you think, honestly, does Whoopi Goldberg get told no? When she needs something, when she wants something, when she needs to go somewhere or do something, or like, when does anybody get in her way of get her any sort of resistance whatsoever? She can live whatever life she wants to live. And you think anybody's in her way telling her no for anything? Of course not. She gets whatever she wants, whenever she wants. It's a fact. It's a fact. So the one time somebody tells her no, she gets an opportunity to practice all these things she preaches, to practice being an adult, to practice being empathetic, to practice being sympathetic, to practice all these things that they preach. Do they? Of course she doesn't. Of course she doesn't. because she doesn't actually believe what she's saying. She wants other people to do the work, but she wants to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Virtue signaling. She wants to be virtue signaling what a great person she is. But the one time she gets a chance to practice it, zero, zilch, nada, doesn't have it in her. It's not in her. She wants you to have it. She wants you to do it. She wants your tax dollars to go to pay for all these policies she claims that are such great ideas, as long as it doesn't affect her. So while these people are on television preaching about what good people they are and how strong, so I'm a strong, independent woman. And then the one time you get a chance to show that you're a strong, independent woman, like you can't even take a simple L. You can't take a simple L. Now again, it's been proven that what she said was a lie. So not only is she not a strong, independent woman, she's a liar. So she's lying on her platform about this business, okay? So she's been proven to be lying about it. Let's just say, for example, this bakery did refuse to make these cupcakes because of her political beliefs, or because she's a woman, or because she's black, or whatever victimhood card she wants to play at the time, okay? Let's just pretend she was correct for a moment, okay? One, they have a right to do that. I don't have to agree with it. She don't have to agree with it, but they have a right to do that. It's their business. If they want to go out of business by refusing service to people, that's their right to go out of business. That's part of being in business. You have a right to refuse service. And if you refuse enough service, you're going to be out of business. Part of it. That's part one. Part two is, even if they did refuse you service, you still could have been the strong, independent, empathetic, sympathetic, bigger person, and you could have been the adult, and you could have said nothing. You didn't have to go on television and say anything. You could have just been like, hey, you know what? I respect their decision. I'm going to go get cupcakes somewhere else. Hey, I might even go tell my friends, hey, you know what? I can't believe these people that give me these cupcakes. But no, she's simple. She's petty. She's weak. She's not strong. She's not independent. She's not empathetic. She's not sympathetic. She's none of these things that they claim to be. They aren't that. They are not that. I promise you. These people are weak. They're simple, and they'll use their platform to piss and shit on people all day long. And they'll virtue signal about what great people they are and how amazing their character is and how they have a big heart and they care about the people. And the one chance, the one time where you can actually prove it, flat on her face. Flat on her face. Didn't happen. So all those scenarios put together. Now, again, she's also a human being. She's allowed to make mistakes, but that's not there's mistakes by omission and there's mistakes by commission. Forgetting to do something or making something because you missed something by mistake, or you forgot to do something, or you accidentally slipped up and said something. No. She viciously and meticulously planned this out. She thought about this. She premeditated saying this because she could have skipped the whole speech before the cupcakes about her mom. She could have skipped the whole thing. She didn't want to. She was trying to hurt these people. She's trying to hurt this small business. So this is what small businesses deal with every day. Now, fortunately for this bakery, they've been there a long time. They got a lot of customers, and her customers, the family's customers, like rallied behind them, and they've been super busy ever since this happened. Good for them. They deserve it. Okay. So it's good that the people and the public see through people like Whoopi Goldberg. That they see that Whoopi Goldberg is weak and fake, and she's a fraud. Whoopi Goldberg is a fraud. It doesn't care how often she's on TV. It doesn't care how much she has to say. It doesn't care how much money she makes. None of that matters. She's a fraud. She's fake. She's weak. She's simple. She'll never practice what she preaches. She won't. She's fake. That's all there is to it. It doesn't matter how many people know who she is. It doesn't matter how many awards she's won. She's fake. And that's why she's on television, is because she's fake. That's just it. That's just it. Like, if we realize that, this story about the cupcakes doesn't make it 50 feet, because there's nobody in the audience paying attention to these morons. There's nobody at home with the television on watching The View. Like, anyway, so These people are toxic, and I don't care how much they sit on television and virtue signal about how good of people they are, how about their character and their morals, and how they're superior to other people because of their beliefs, and how they care about, like I said, everything from immigration to the working class to reparations. Like, it's all BS. It's all BS. It's all just talk. It's all talk. Because when push comes to shove, gone. You ain't gonna see nothing but ass and elbows, because they're running the other way. They're never gonna do it. They want to say it. They want to talk about it. They want to look good in front of their friends. They want to look good on TV. They want to look cute in front of the audience. But when it comes to, hey, put some money in the jar for reparations, I ain't got $50. Hey, let's put two migrants in your house. Oh, I don't have room in my house. Like, it's just, they're frauds. Okay? So I've gone on about that for way too long, but circling back, that is exactly what it's like to be a small business owner. People are coming after you all the time. People are trying to put you out of business. Like I said, everything from your competitors to the government to every bill you have to pay. It's just, people are on you all the time. And to be in business for 130 years says a lot about those people. To be in business for 5 years says a lot about people. To be in business at all, to even go out there and try, says a lot about you as a person. So, yes, I may make it sound like it's scary, but trust me, it's worth it. If you've ever thought about starting your own business, now's the time. If you can't start one yesterday, start one today. Like, if you can't do it 10 years ago, start it now. So get after it. Go do it. I don't mean to make it sound scary. It's well worth it. It's well worth it, especially if you don't want to work for somebody. And again, I use that sort of phrase loosely because I didn't want to work for anybody. That was sort of my thing in my head. It's like, I don't want to work for anybody. I found out real quick as being self-employed that you work for every single person that walks in the door, and you work for every single one of your employees. So I used to not want to have a single boss. I want no bosses. I don't want this one boss that I have. I don't want him. And now I work for everybody. Every single phone call, every single email, every single message, every single employee, every single person that drives up and needs air in their tire, every single person that's just walking around the store shopping. I work for every single one of them. So I quit one boss to have every single person within how many ever miles is now my boss. I work for all of them. So don't get deluded the idea that life's going to be easy and simple if you're self-employed. People are going to come after you, but trust me, it's worth it. It's worth it. So don't be scared. Get out there and do it. And to be completely honest, there's not that many Whoopi Goldbergs in the world. There's not. Now, again, I know most of them are on television because that's where they seem to all be, like, for whatever reason, that's their mojo or whatever. But in the real world, there's not that many people, like actual human beings, that are trying to hurt you. They're out there. There's a few of them. Like I said, there's a few of them that would rather watch you bleed than see you make a copper penny off of them. Okay, so it's possible. But I'm saying for the most part, people understand what you're doing and what services you offer and what your time is worth, or what the services you offer, what they're worth. Some people get it. Most people get it. Okay, so don't let me scare you away from being self-employed. It's well worth it. And it's now or never. I mean, seriously, now or never. I mean, we're in a weird part of the economy, and everything's ebbs and flows. So, and don't pay too much attention to the stock market. That's a bad indicator about small business. It's actually a really bad indicator about small business. So don't pay too close attention to the stock market, and don't pay attention to cable news. What really matters is your industry, your business, the market, the need. There's those factors that matter specifically to you that have nothing to do with anything about you'll find on television. So don't pay too much attention to that. But I lost my train of thought and I got sidetracked on the stock market. But yeah, if you're going to start a business, do it. Do it now. Oh, that's what I was going to say is there's ebbs and flows in the market, and it's been more of like a downtime the past couple of years. Well, you know what that means. After the down comes the up. So it's go time. It's go time. And people that are already in business, whatever you're doing, you need to pour gasoline on it. Like, if you're $20,000 in debt and you're cruising, then you need to figure out how to get $60,000 in debt and get after it. because we're on the way back up. It's going to happen. And again, don't pay too much attention to the stock market, because the stock market is a single indicator in a ocean of information and an ocean of factors. The stock market is a small indicator. So even if the stock market crashes tomorrow, it has very little, if not nothing, to do with small business. So don't be afraid and don't be paying attention to the stock market, because it doesn't control what you're doing. I can pretty much assure you that. Anyway, I'm gone. I did not want to go this long tonight, but Whoopi Goldberg pissed me off. Like, it's just a joke. Like, how dare her use her platform to try to take a dump on somebody? And another thing is, these are the people that are always saying that the other people on the other side are talking conspiracy theories. She just made up a conspiracy theory. Well, they told me it was the boiler, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's because of my politics. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Like, nobody gets to fact check her live on air. You know what I mean? Like, it's absurd. It's nobody's on the other side of that desk saying, "Hey, Whoopi Goldberg, you shouldn't be spreading conspiracy theories." Everybody's just like, "Oh, poor Whoopi. Oh, poor her. Oh, how savage the world has been to Whoopi Goldberg by not making her cupcakes. How unfair. Oh, you poor thing." Come on, man. Come on, man. Anyway, I'm done with that for tonight. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This rant probably wasn't that entertaining, but it got me heated, because I will defend small businesses. I just will defend them. I understand them. I get it. I'm with them. I see them. I'm around these people all day, every day. I see the sacrifices that they make. I see what they have to go through. And for somebody to try to take one out publicly, like basically put a hit out on them on television. You try to put a hit out on a small business. I mean, and then try to be all smug, like, "Well, I didn't say their name." Like, come on, lady. Like, you're not cute. You're not even smart. Like, you're pretending like, "Oh, well, I didn't say the name, so I'm like above the law." Like, no, just because you're stupid doesn't mean everybody else is stupid. Like, they can't figure out who you're talking about. So your insinuation was plenty. You told the story. You said where the bakery was. Like, again, just because you're stupid doesn't mean everybody else is stupid. So anyway, smug is like my least favorite characteristic in a human being. And she's smug, and I don't like that. Oh, man. I feel so much better after getting that off my chest. So sorry if this was not entertaining for you guys, or sorry if this didn't add any value or bring anything good into your life, or hope this wasn't, it probably wasn't very uplifting, but like I said, I watch these videos, and I'm going to need to watch this and see what this looks like, because this is probably not a good look, but sometimes it just feels better to get it off your chest. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Take care of each other, and we'll see y'all soon. Bye.